Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to our very first in-person undergraduate event in over 18 months. I know you've probably heard this several times, but a very warm welcome to our incoming UCI program in public health class of 2021 and those from the class of 2020 that are joining us today, both in person and attending our live stream. We are so thrilled you have chosen to experience your educational journey with our amazing faculty, staff, and fellow students. My name is Jacqueline Beruga, and I'm the Director of Student Affairs here in the Program of Public Health at UCI. The Student Affairs Office, your academic advising center, will be a vital resource in your educational journey, as we will be here to guide you to ensure you have an awareness of campus resources, understand requirements to complete your degree, provide you with programs to aid in your success, and just support you in any other way you may need. Basically, please think of us as a catch-all resource and a good contact point for any questions or concerns you may have. I'd like to invite the Student Affairs team up to introduce themselves to you. I'm going to go ahead and start us off with two introductions of two of our staff members that are not here today. Marissa Martinez is our lead senior advisor. Marissa advises undergraduate students with last names O through T. So if your last name starts with between O through T, Marissa Martinez will serve as your advisor. The other staff member is Rocio Gonzalez, who serves as our community engagement coordinator. All of you will get to know Rocio well as you start to embark on your practicum journey, which is a requirement for all of our students in the program of public health. This will happen closer to junior or senior year. So for those of you that are transfer students, you will probably interact with her much sooner than those of you who are coming in as freshmen. And then I'll have the rest of the team come on up.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. So nice to see you all here. My name is Madeline Dumao. I'm one of the undergraduate academic advisors. For my caseload, the last names of students I advise is A through E and Y. So if that's your last name, I am your advisor. As one of the academic advisors, I help with advising you on your plan for the next 4 years, and also finding the resources that you'll need for the next few years. So again, good morning, and so happy to see you all today.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. My name is Denise Leon. I will be supporting our students' letters F through K, as well as U through X. So please come see me. Feel free to send me a message via email, or you can also schedule an appointment. But yeah, we're really excited to have you here, and we hope that you enjoy the event. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Welcome. My name is Jackie Oseda. I am one of the academic advisors here, and I see all students with last names ending, starting with L, M, N, and Z. So if your last name starts with one of those letters, I will be your academic advisor. So if you have any questions about any degree requirements or your educational plan, please feel free to message me or make an appointment. And again, congratulations and welcome.
All right, hello everyone. My name is Miguel Huerta. I actually serve as the student support coordinator here in the program in public health. I work with all students, both undergraduate and graduate. I provide additional support to all students in a one-on-one basis, whether you're dealing with some personal or academic challenges. Really, our goal is here to support you and work with you. And so if you ever find yourself just struggling, whether it be in your coursework or you have some personal life challenges, you can come meet with me, and I'll definitely assist you in connecting to additional campus resources to ensure you are doing overall well as a student. And first and foremost, really as a person. Thank you.
Miguel's very tall. Now I'd like to welcome our peer academic advisors who were kind enough to join you in your walk across campus this morning to introduce themselves.
And I'm very short. Good morning, everyone. I'm one of the peer academic advisors here out of the four. My name is Kimberly. I'm actually a fourth year student. So we all know we've been in your guys' shoes. So if you guys have any questions along the year, we are here to advise you on any course advising or just anything about the major. Really, it's just be really transparent with us and we're here to just answer any of your questions. So again, welcome.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kayla, and I'm also one of your peer academic advisors. I am a fourth year public health sciences major, and we're really looking forward to meeting all of you this upcoming school year. And like Kimberly said, we're also students, so we might have maybe like be experiencing like similar experiences or challenges. So please don't hesitate to schedule a virtual appointment with us. You can do that on our appointments website, but we'll pub that later. But yeah, we're really looking forward to meeting all of you throughout the school year, and please don't hesitate to reach out. We're always here for you.
Hi, everyone. I'm also one of your peer academic advisors for this year. My name is Lindsay, and I'm also fourth year public health sciences and public health policy double major. So if any of y'all have any questions about either of those majors, please feel free to let me know. I'm always here to help y'all, as well as Kayla, Kimberly, and Manishka. We're all here to help you guys. So feel free to reach out to us anytime. We're here to support you. So again, welcome and congrats on coming to UCI.
Hi all, I'm the last PAA. My name is Manishka Ranji. I'm a third year poli-sci and public health policy major. And as everyone said, we're here to support you throughout your whole journey here. So feel free to reach out at any point with any questions. And we look forward to seeing you all in our offices soon.
Awesome. Can we get one more round of applause for this amazing team that's here to support you? And this is only one fraction of the team because you have more faculty and staff and peers that are here to support you. But I do want to thank this group for everything that you all do to support our students. We acknowledge and recognize that in many ways, this will be a transition period as we adjust to returning to a new normal, in-person classes, on-campus events, faculty and staff holding in-person appointments and office hours. There is so much change happening right now, and just know that we as the Student Affairs Office, and again, all the other faculty and staff in the program are here to support you through it all. We are proud to say one of the benefits of attending UCI is the vast number of resources you will have available to you as students, some of which you may have already learned about during your orientation sessions. However, at the same time, we recognize it can feel overwhelming trying to navigate all the resources and determine which one best meets your needs. We hear that and we understand. The message I want you all to remember, if nothing else after today, is please do not feel like you are alone in navigating your educational journey. There are so many people cheering for you and available to support you. If you don't know where to go, start somewhere. It could be a professor, our office, the Student Affairs Office, another office in which you're already connected, anywhere. We acknowledge that there can be some uncertainty in asking for help or support, but just know that we are here and happy to help. It's what we love to do, and it's the reason why we have made this our career. We are eager to start the new academic year and begin to build positive relationships with each and every one of you. I'd now like to introduce our director and founding dean, Dr. Bernadette Bowden-Albala, to give our official welcome.
Finally get to take that mask off. Oh, Welcome, everyone, and thanks, Jacqueline. This is so exciting. I'm so excited to see people in person. I'm sure you are too, as opposed to Zoom, and I'm really excited to be here. So like you, I'm actually relatively new. I've been an anteater for about 2 years. And I came from New York, and I think my accent is slowly fading, but it's still pretty heavy. I spent all of my career in public health in New York City, Columbia University. I was there for 16 years, Mount Sinai, NYU, where I helped to form a school of public health. And now I am here with you and so excited. So you should be so excited because I'm excited that you're here. This is a tremendous program. In fact, one of the reasons that I came to UCI and to public health is because this is probably one of the very best undergraduate programs in public health in the country. Most schools of public health start from a medical school, there's a department of public health, and then there's a school of public health, and then maybe there's a minor in public health in the undergrad, and 30 students are involved in it. And here at UCI, it was very different. It started out as a program in public health, and the great thing for all of you to know is that you're going to be here during this tremendous transition when we move from a really one of the best, as I said, programs in the country to a school of population and public health. And that's going to happen any day. That's going to happen really probably this year into next. Don't be afraid of transition. In fact, in public health, it's much better to be flexible. And that's what we are here at our program, moving to a school of public health. The other thing I was thinking of when I was thinking about what we were going to talk a little bit about today in our welcome is that I always wanted to do public health. It was always what I wanted. But when I was growing up and when I was thinking about public health, there was no career in public health like there is now. And nobody knew what public health was. And so I would say to my parents, I want to go into public health. I really want to work with populations, with communities, and work on their health, bettering their health, working together with communities to really focus on health and well-being. And so they'd say, oh, so you want to be a nurse? And I'd say, no, that's not exactly what I want to do. And then I'd say, and they said, oh, so you want to be a doctor? And I said, no, I don't want to be a physician. I do want to be a doctor, but not a physician. I want to do public health. And, there wasn't even programs that you could go into. There was no undergraduate public health programs when I was doing it. And so I went more the traditional medical school route, but then also added anthropology because I was really interested in communities, and added sociology because I was really interested in organizational structures and how all of those things come into public health. This year and last year, the pandemic years, which we'll remember for our entire life, everybody now knows what public health is. After 31 years in public health, my mother called me up during the pandemic and she said, I know what you do now. Now, I'm an epidemiologist by training, a social epidemiologist, so I'm not sure she knows exactly what I do, but she said, I know what you do now. That's so great. And I said, what did you think I was doing for the last 31 years? And she said, well, I think you were helping people, but I wasn't sure how. So the great news for you is that you are in an amazing program, which is making amazing movements, and you're in a career that everybody knows and realizes is critical to moving this country and to moving this planet forward, to reaching some optimal health and well-being. So amazing things are happening here, and all of you are adding to that. So I guess that's really the big thing I wanted to talk about. Jacqueline mentioned, and you met a lot of the counselors, mentors, student support, and you're going to meet Ted Gideons, who's the director of this program in a minute. These are really fine people, and they really care a lot about you. And there's going to be a time in every one of your days or months or years that you're here when you're going to struggle. Everybody does. We all do. I did. I still do. We all do. And, we've got this great pressure of pandemic, a public health issue hanging over us all the time, and things are going to go up and down. And so we are really here for you. My goal is not to lose any of you in the cracks. My goal is to support all of you. And I'm a resource for you too. bbodenalbala@hs.uci.edu. That's my email. You can find it anywhere. Email me. Email anyone you talked about, email faculty. We are here for you and we will get you to the right place. Do not for 1 minute feel uncomfortable about that. I'll be doing a town hall with you guys quarterly, and I'll be having open student office hours. You can talk to me about anything. Talk to me about, I really am interested in going abroad to blah, blah, to do something like that. How do I do that? Someone just asked me about sports medicine and public health. We'll do all of that for you. That is really what we're here for. So what are the expectations of you? What do you want to gain out of this program in the next 3 or 4 years? And I think there's a number of things. So my expectation for you is that when you graduate, there are a couple of key things I want you to feel comfortable about. The one thing, number one, I want you to think about public health as social justice. And no matter what you decide to do, and I hope you do, whether you pursue an MPH in public health or a DRPH, a doctorate of public health, which is what I have, or a PhD, or become a lawyer, or become a dentist, or become a social activist, social justice has to be at the top of what you do and how you approach. Everything should be approached with an equity and a health equity lens. And so these next 4 years are going to be developing those skills. And that's critically important. And if you don't think you can do that, we're not doing our jobs well enough. You come and you say, help me to think about how to do it, and take the time in the next 4 years to really think about how even here at UCI in public health, we can really reframe the conversation. So health equity and social justice are at the very top of that conversation. And if you don't think we're doing well enough in curriculum, tell us, because it's really something that's very critical to both Ted and I and to our mission. And we're making those changes. It's slow, but we're making them. If you think you can help us to make those better, we'll do it. If you think the speakers are not as focused on social justice, then we need to redo that. So we're asking you to come together with us in these 4 years with an active voice. The second thing I want to see from all of you before you graduate, I want you to be able to defend science. Defending science, it turns out, is critical for our survival. And nobody knows how to defend science in the US. Certainly it doesn't seem like anyone's able to do it. And I'm not going to be political here. In fact, science is apolitical. Science is a process, a rigorous process, and that we use that process to make decisions which impact our lives. Or the big decision everyone's using science for or not using science for, they're using their gut instead of science, is to get a vaccine or not. And we're all wearing masks and we're all getting tested and we're all suffering. We could all be fully vaccinated without masks right now if we knew how to defend science. And so that's the second thing I ask you in your 4 years here to be able to do. And as part of that, not just think about vaccines, not just think about diseases, but think about more globally, health in all policies. And that's the third thing I want you to be able to do, is think about health, not just in its, this is a disease, this is the treatment, but in its largest sense, in all policies. And if we think about it from a planetary perspective, we're thinking about issues like climate change and health. And just as I challenged you to defend science, and as I challenged you to focus on social justice, I also challenge you to embrace the fact that this planet and our health are inextricably woven together. And so we have to be able to understand that and move forward, action and advocacy. And so that's the last part of it. We have to defend science, we have to use a health equity lens, and we have to be advocates of health in all policies, starting with planetary health. And so it's not easy being in college. It's not easy going through this. You're going to take rigorous courses. You're going to be writing. You're going to want to have a social life. You're going to want to date. You're going to want to explore all different things. And at the same time, in public health, certainly, and really in any major, but in public health, I demand it, that we become better citizens of this world, because we certainly need better citizens. And so I throw that challenge out to you, but I say, do it with us. And if you need help, let us know how to do it. So I started with amazing things are happening here. And I know I've seen your CVs or your applications. I've seen your experiences, and you are the amazing things that are happening now to public health. And I'm just so excited to start to work with all of you and have a great 4 years. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for choosing public health. It's a heroic career, and it's a heroic discipline and a heroic career. And you're going to make the world better for it. Welcome. Thank you.
All right, can we give our amazing dean another wonderful round of applause? Thank you, thank you. All right, I would now like to invite up Dr. Ted Gideons, our Director of Undergraduate Affairs, and he's going to share a little bit with you about undergraduate research and Delta Omega.
Bear with me. I recently got bifocals, progressive lenses, which do not work with context very well. So I'm not wearing my reading glasses. So I have definitely, we will do our best. So one of the things that our wonderful dean brought up was how public health is involved in social justice, and how incredibly important, as we've learned, particularly over the last several years, how much we do can improve social justice and how much we can ignore that doesn't help social justice. And I think that when we think about undergraduate research or research in general, research in public health is exceedingly important, obviously. Like, how else are we going to figure out how to stop COVID, or how COVID spreads, or how are we going to eat better? Or how are we going to make better, safer cars? One of the things that I always think people don't realize when they enter public health is like, wait a minute, what does that have to do with public health? It's like, well, every single safety thing that you can imagine, whether it was airbags or crosswalks, it's a public health effort. We're trying to prevent people from getting sick, from getting hurt. And obviously, we also do a lot of things about trying to figure out how inequality has affected people's health, but also on the opposite, what we can do to make healthcare better for everyone, but also what we can do to help people want to make things better for everyone, whether it is, how are we talking about health and wellness and equality in elementary schools? And I always think back to when I was a kid, and which was very shortly after desegregation in Cincinnati, Ohio. And I can remember things like, how do people not know these things? Oh, my school system made sure that we all learned Black history. It was something, and I was like, so when I discovered that wasn't everywhere, I was like, oh, well, that's social justice. And I said, well, it's also public health. We got along, and when people get along, they are healthier. decreases stress. So obviously, this is all stuff that we've learned through research. So you're like, well, what am I going to do as an undergrad? Well, undergrads are important. We need bodies to help us do things. But research for undergrads is really about more than just like our minions to help us do things. It is about helping you learn how to do the research that you will do as a professional or in grad school that will help us learn all these new things. It is a process. It helps you learn not just how to do research, but also learn how to understand knowledge, how to find things out. One of the things we have definitely, we've all suffered through in public health is the people claiming they were doing their own research. And they are doing research. They are not doing it very well. I had a friend say to me, doesn't Advantage and Frontline give your cats cancer? And I was like, are you, what? And then he said, do your own research, jokingly. And I discovered, of course, there was no actual real research on this. There was just forums. So one of the things that research teaches us how to do is actually to figure things out. And it is really important to do what you can do to do research. If you could do research with a professor, that's awesome. Learning how to do research with a grad student, with any sort of person that you can sort of hook up with as a mentor or as a guide. We do have actual formalized programs. And I will say it's pretty clear from the as things change with our fantastic dean is that in the time you were here, the undergraduates will have a lot more research opportunities. And it's going to be amazing. We have some formalized ones. The best known is our fantastic senior honors research program, where you work with usually a faculty member for an entire year building a research project that you then present. And it's an amazing thing, but it's not the only way to do it. If you don't want to spend an entire year, you can do so many other things. But it is something that we think it's really important that you know how to do it, so that, again, you can defend science and tell people what's actually true, or what we know is the closest thing to truth as possible. One thing that isn't on I was going to talk about research and Delta Omega, but I'm going to add in the other end of public health, which is practice. And the other big thing that you can do, you have to do as a senior in public health, is do the practicum, which is a required internship that combines with a class where we basically teach you how public health is done in the workforce, how it's done outside. And usually most students figure out, it's like, oh, wait a minute, this is all integrated, all that research and all that stuff that I learned, it's all being done in this nonprofit that I'm helping out at. And it is a really, really important thing for in our goal of having you, help us save the world. And I will talk about that in my final remarks about saving the world, which is like, no pressure. If you do all this very, very, very well, we have this thing called Delta Omega, which is an honor society for public health that there are more than 100 chapters and 22,000 members. And it has started here recently. And I fell down the rabbit hole learning all sorts of historical things. It's definitely on the upswing. There was a period where it was sort of not as much, but it's as I discover, it's a great thing. It's a great network. If you do really, really well here, you can join, or you can do what I did, which is just show up really, really late and do a good job, and they'll give it to you when you're 47. So, so that's how I ended up in it this year. But I think that anything that honors all the work that we are doing, particularly in a not very well paid, but incredibly important profession, is great. It's something that we can be proud of. And the more people we can get striving for that, the better. And I don't know who's going next. Will just Jacqueline come back? Okay, I'll be back in 15 minutes.
Ted is also very tall, which I have learned just last week, seeing him for the first time in person. Because as our dean mentioned, I'm also very new to UCI, so I'm seeing a lot of the staff for the first time in person. So now I'm going to go ahead and invite up our representatives for our student groups. If you all would like to come up and then just take turns, we'll start with our Public Health Association. And then next we'll have our Health and Justice Advocates, then Guiding Hands, and then our Public Health Mentorship Program. So they're going to take just a couple minutes each and kind of share a little bit about our different student organizations.
Perfect height. Hi, my name is Trisha,
And I'm Alice.
and we are the co-presidents of the Public Health Association here on campus, one of the only clubs on campus dedicated specifically to public health. Most of what we do is we help support UCI and our local communities through education, service, advocacy, and volunteering. We also seek to support you all and the student population as a whole through providing professional development, career, and networking opportunities. And I would probably say my favorite part, outside of all of that, is that PHA is just a really great place outside of your classes to really connect with students that are in your major or students that just have a passion in public health in general. And it's just a really great way to bond.
We meet weekly on Mondays from 6 to 7 p.m. on Zoom, and you can also connect with us on Instagram at PHAUCI, and also feel free to visit us at the Anteater Enrollment Fair where we have candy, and we hope to see you there. Stay well and stay safe.
Yeah, and welcome to the program of public health.
Hi, everybody. My name is Connie Valencia. I am really excited to be here. I am one of the leaders for the Health and Justice Advocates Program, and we are a student-led program that was founded in 2016. I was going to say 1996, but it's 2016 by two PhD students, Margaret Whitley and Teresa Duong, after the election. And it's a place really to foster an environment that will engage students to discuss social issues that impact you, your families, people of any race, ethnic background, identities. We're really trying to create a space where we can talk and discuss solutions, identify potential barriers, challenges that can be addressed. And this is all starts with all of you just coming to our meetings and bringing your ideas. We have a lot of good ways that you can help us out through social media. You can get to network with amazing faculty, like Dr. Gideons, Dr. Brittany Mori, Dr. Vernestrom, who help us out, and you get to meet really great students and just have fun during our meetings. So we hope to see you there. Feel free to contact me, and wishing you the best.
Hi, everyone. My name is Carly, and this is Cameron, and we are current medical students at UC Irvine. And we were asked to talk to you today about Guiding Hands, which is a mentorship opportunity for any of you who are considering pursuing a medical career after your public health training here at UC Irvine. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be sending out a sign-up sheet for one-on-one mentorship with UCI medical students. And basically with that mentorship, you'll have the opportunity to ask your medical students anything about the whole application process or how to kind of best prepare yourself to get into medical school.
In addition to the mentorship process, though, Guiding Hands, we have a lot of other events. We have workshops kind of discussing similar things, whether it be the medical school application, how to prepare for the MCAT, personal statements, interviews, and we also even have a personal statement editing that you can get with a medical student who can look over your personal statement as well and edit it to make sure that you have the best possible chance of getting into medical school, and also learn how to maybe present yourself professionally for any sort of graduate school. But yeah, as Carly said, we're going to be sending up a sign up for the one-on-one mentorship pretty soon, probably next week. So if anyone who's interested in a career in medicine, I'd really encourage you to get involved and sign up, because undergrad can be pretty overwhelming. So it would be great to have a guide from someone who was in your shoes not that long ago. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Tanker, and I'm one of the 2 presidents of the Public Health Mentorship Program. We're a newly established organization that aims to build a community within the program in public health by pairing new and incoming students, such as yourselves, with students who have been within our program for at least 1 year. And we initially started this program because the other president, John, and I were talking, and we were kind of reminiscing over our first year. And we both found it was kind of overwhelming because we already had to transition to college, and a lot of our classes didn't really have public health majors in them because we kind of took the recommended first year courses in a different order. And so we, as well as other students, wanted to make use of any experiences that we had during our first years to help y'all comfortably settle into your new lives as college students. And so throughout the academic year, we'll be holding different social events, both online and in person, to help you build more communities and more personal relationships with those within the major. And as a mentee, you will both be able to meet people within the major, as well as have access to a mentor who will be able to one-on-one help and guide you throughout your first year. And our first social will be during week 1, where we will be doing a mentor-mentee mixer, and you can meet your potential mentors. We'll be sending out a pairing preference form that will be due at the end of week 2, that will help us do the mentor pairings that will be revealed in week 3. And if you have any questions, you can hit up our booth at H310 near ALP, where you can meet the board or sign up to be a mentee. We are also available via email at phmentorprogram@gmail.com and on Instagram at phmp@UCI. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you all so much. I hope you were able to learn a little bit about our student organizations and get excited about the opportunity to start getting involved on campus. I'm now going to go ahead and invite up Meredith Kwok, our Director of Alumni Relations, to share a few words.
Hi, everyone. I'm looking at all your faces and I'm sure you're a little overwhelmed at this moment. Day 1, your brains are full of all this great information and excitement. You're probably thinking, okay, now this lady's going to talk about being an alum. I got to get through today, tomorrow, next week, the first quarter. So don't worry, no stress. Like Jacqueline said, my name is Meredith Kwok. I'm the Director of Alumni Relations for the College of Health Sciences. I've been with public health for 4 years now. And I'm just here to tell you today that you're starting a lifelong relationship with UCI and the Anteater family. So in 4 years or 5 years or whenever you're finished, your bond with UCI does not end there. So we have a robust alumni program. I am in charge of making sure we have opportunities for you to stay connected through networking, social events, regular communication, so you're up to date on news, traditions such as homecoming, volunteer opportunities. We have a scholarship that we fundraise for, mentorship and ways to give back. So we'll talk about that when you graduate and we'll get to know each other better. But right now, I want you to know that our current alumni are so passionate about all of you. You'll be seeing them in your classrooms and panels. They'll be inviting you to events to get to know them, to welcome you with open arms once you graduate. There's even an event coming up in October. They're planning a workshop about grad school. So our alumni love you and want to get to know you. So how do you stay in touch? Instagram. Has anybody heard of Instagram before? Nobody. Oh, well, we're going to need a social media 101 before we can go to public health 101. So please take out your phone. Very rarely will you be asked to take out your phone at school. Go to the Instagram app if you have it. I'm sorry if you don't. And follow right now UC Irvine Public Health. And if you follow, we may have a little something for you. So our alum love public health so much that they stay here and work. So Madeline and Jackie, for 6 lucky winners, have a little bit of swag. So once I see those follows come in. Okay, how about my spa loan? Okay, we got a hand right here. She gets some swag. Okay, how about Roxy Thomas? Roxy, is Roxy here? Raise your hand, stand up. We got to see you, Roxy. How about Serena.1A? Lindsay.Yee? Brian 15_ Brian? Oh, all the way in the corner? Okay, keep them coming, keep them coming. Let's see. Wow, these are some crazy names. How about Chloe HRS? Alice _21_? Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. You'll see all of your information there. And we have one more thing to do. So you're not an official anteater before you learn how to zap. And now that you all follow us on Instagram, you're going to be Instagram famous. So take your hands in the air and your 2 middle fingers connect with your thumb. And you have like a werewolf or a coyote or something. But if you pull your thumb back, that is an anteater. You see how he did that? Okay, and the anteater's battle cry is zot, zot, zot. That's a real thing. If you go to the zoo, they say that. Okay, ready? Let's practice. Zot, zot, zot on 3. 1, 2, 3. Zot, zot, zot. All right, and now we're gonna take a video. Hold on. You got it? Okay. Everyone turn towards Bree on 3. As loud as you can. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. On 3, 1, 2, 3. Zot, zot, zot. Did you get it? Okay. Have a great first quarter. Thank you.
All right. Okay, we're almost done. We are finishing up. So sorry. I know we are getting toward the end. We just have some closing remarks. Honestly, for those of you that got that swag, I really want one of those. So you are super lucky. I'm slightly jealous. So thank you, Meredith, for that. We're going to have Dr. Ted Gideons come back up and just do some closing remarks. Before he does that, I just want to quickly acknowledge the student affairs team. So Jackie Osegueda was the one that coordinated this event and made this all possible. So thank you. And then the rest of the student affairs team for supporting Jackie and getting this event together. And then we also want to thank our the staff in DCE for doing all of this for us and helping us to coordinate this event, the labor of putting out the chairs and the tables and the live stream. Thank you so much for all of this. We so appreciate you and your partnership. So thank you. And then I'm going to now go ahead and welcome back Dr. Ted Gideons for our closing remarks.
Closer to the microphone. Okay. So when I was asked to do this a couple months ago, I was like, oh, yeah, sure. That'll be fine. And then I started thinking about, oh my God, what am I going to say? And I had started thinking about all of the sort of rousing battle speeches that people have given, particularly in movies. And I was thinking, well, there's, Aragorn and Lord of the Rings before they run into the Black Gate, where he literally says, you're all going to die sometime, but not today, which is horrifying. Or in Henry V, St. Crispin's Day speech, where basically he's just rousing people up so they're excited so that when they die in battle, they won't be as upset. And I was like, this is a terrible way to do things. And it's terrible in a lot of ways. I mean, it's expected. We have this sort of way of like rousing people up to go off and do important things. The problem though that I have with it is not just, I love those speeches too. They, you get roused and sometimes you discover, I can't believe how excited I am by something that is, they're literally going to go kill people. Because, this is public health. We're not at war. And we've used war metaphors really probably, I would say, irresponsibly in the way that we talk about healthcare and the way that we talk about anything, whether it's COVID or not. It's one thing to declare war in an actual, like where there's true war, but we've used war metaphors on things like the war in cancer, the war on drugs, the war on poverty, the war on terrorism. And the problem with all of these war metaphors is that they turn it's really hard to have a war against a thing. It's really vague. And it also vague, problematic, but it also means that there have to be actual soldiers and generals and battles, and it's, heroes are cool, but that means that there are also people that aren't heroes. There are traitors, there are losers, there's collateral damage, there are sacrifices. And I don't think the war metaphor has actually ended up helping in a lot of cases. Obviously, we are in a situation now where there's a lot of discussion about we're at war with each other in this country. That has not helped at all. It's made things worse. And we're so used to the metaphor that we end up, it's even weird to question it. And when I was your age, when I started college in 1992, I was taught to question it by reading this very famous essay at the time, Susan Sontag's essay on illness and its metaphors. And it actually struck me as, this is really a mess. If we talk about it, I was like, this is really a weird way of going about doing it. And I've bristled whenever I hear it used. And here I am, I was about to do it. And I was like, wait a minute, you're college freshman. This is not boot camp. It's not that you're going to be here for 6 weeks and then we're sending you off into some random battle. You're here for 4 years, and you're not here to learn how to, conquer something. You're actually here to learn. And to experience things, to question things, to be confused and be confounded and discover things. And that is a very, very different process. It's a very different thing than we're sending you into war to, win the battle against COVID or health equity. And I will admit, it is few things thrill me more than seeing, actually, this is about 3 times more students than I actually imagined were going to be here. And seeing all these people that are actually starting college, trying to go into public health because we so desperately need you. And it's not just COVID, but we have obviously lots and lots and lots of health problems that we need lots of people to help with. And I've done it when I wasn't really paying attention. I've referred to them as our army of do-gooders, our 1,300 students. We have an army of do-gooders. It's amazing. It's awesome. I was like, they're an army. We can't call them an army. Whether it's a community, maybe a collective, a movement, or something like that. I think it's perfectly still okay to have heroes, because that's great, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we have to go all the way. And I think it's whatever it is, I'm thrilled that you are here. It literally makes being in a very difficult time much easier, because I know that when I go to work, I get to see people like you. So I think, but it's, the save the world is still a lot of pressure. Many of you are 18 years old. Some of you maybe even be younger until you're about to turn 18, and you just got here. And I will say, when I arrived, as a college freshman that first week, I thought I knew everything. I was very wrong. I had no idea what I was doing. I ended up majoring in completely different things. And if someone had said to me that I'd be teaching public health in Orange County when I was 47 years old, I would be like, that's just crazy. Well, that's crazy talk. But here I am, because things changed, because I let myself learn new things. I experienced things. I realized I didn't like something, so I could go, and then I did something else. I believed in do another internship. The first internship you do is not the one that you just become that person. It's to help you figure out what you like and what you don't like. And I think that when you think of college not as the means to the end, that the end is, yes, you want a job, you want success, obviously, but college is 4 years of learning, where you're supposed to experience new things and figure out whether or not this is actually what you want to do. And I would prefer that whatever you do, that you decrease suffering. That's all I care about, really, as like moral standing, but it doesn't have to be in I mean, it would be great if it was in one of our specific disciplines. But if you are doing this and you are learning and you're discovering, you can do it in many different ways. And I want you to sort of think about it as it's the cliche that the journey is more important than the destination, but this is college. It really is. Like the process is learning how to learn, not necessarily memorizing something so that you can just write it down. Learning how to learn makes you a constant student, which is what is really needed in our world. And particularly when we are confronted with situations like COVID, where everything is, you have to learn constantly. Everything is new. So I do want you to, do well in all your classes, read, do well and, write your papers. But I also, the most important thing about college is sort of how you grow, not necessarily the specific skill set. And that means that you grow as a learner, as a student, you meet people that you never would have met before. You did things you never would have thought you would do. You took classes that you were like, okay, I have no idea what that is. I'm going to take that class. I must say that it was the best decision I ever made, was to take a class on religion when I arrived in college, because I honestly had no idea what I was talking about. I was one of those obnoxious atheists you meet in high school. And then I took a religion class and was like, oh my God, this is so much more complicated. Being that sort of person where you actually learn more things so that you can discover who you are, to find joy, to find beauty, that is very, very different from sending you into battle. I mean, I do hope that you will help us save the world, but I want you to go through the process of learning and enjoying and discovering on the way there. And this is I'm so jealous. I mean, I don't want to go back to college right now, but I am so jealous by how exciting the next 2 months are going to be for you. So I hope you enjoy the process and realize we are here to help you. I wouldn't have gotten through that crazy college if it wasn't for my version of student affairs to help me figure out what I needed to major in. So I'm looking forward to seeing you in classes. You will at some point end up in one of my classes. So thank you. Do you want me to just wrap it up then? Okay, then we are wrapping it up. Have a great day. Enjoy the absolute beautiful weather we are having, and have fun on Thursday. Okay. Water? Oh, take water. Take water. Sorry.
Times when I look into your eyes,